Shortly, we're going to hear from some very deep thought leaders in the world of logistics and warehousing. We've got Stephen Brown, of course, the Chief Executive of Fortress Real Estate, Mike Benfield, who's the Chief Executive of Max Steel, and in addition to that, we've got the Chief Executive of Relog, that's Gary Benatar. And from Pick n Pay, and he's in charge of all of their huge logistics, of course, is Marcel Basson. Talk to me about this warehouse advantage. It's a big theme in many parts of the world, and there's been an explosion in the sector, certainly in South Africa.
I think there has been an explosion everywhere. I mean, we saw with COVID really the huge acceleration in e-commerce and in retailers gearing up for e-commerce. And I think it's been interesting to see the progression of that over time. I mean, even now with retail, and I think the world kind of forgetting about COVID, it's still there. And really what we're seeing in SA in particular is retailers leading that charge in terms of looking for more space, for better space, and a consolidation of space into one, as is the case with Pick n Pay, one sort of distribution center.
Marcel, I've seen pictures of these enormous warehouses, and I think we've become more commonplace with these things. But this warehouse of yours is an absolute monster.
Look, it's a really big facility. It's built on land of well over 350,000 square meters, and the facility itself, also touching on 150,000 square meters. So a really big facility that's gonna enable Pick n Pay to leapfrog in terms of our ability to serve our customer.
How on earth, Gary, do you go about designing something like this? It's a monster.
One of the biggest things that we had to do was try to design it in such a way that it reduced Pick n Pay's operating costs. And the secret to this design was the composite building. So everything is one building, and that's unique. So it's a composite building, perishables, ambient, all together. And through that, we were able to share immense services and infrastructure, which doesn't get duplicated.
But I mean, the structural integrity is such that it's feasible that these things could be around 50 years from now.
Absolutely. It's absolutely feasible. Steel lasts a long time. I think the guys are innovating all the time in terms of design. And the alloys are changing all the time in terms of tensile strength and things like that will help create bigger buildings in the future.
It's wonderful to see the collaborations and the multiple uses of stuff, and the real focus on cutting down on waste and ensuring that we save some time. Stephen Brown, last word to you. I mean, you've really got to be at the cutting edge and beyond in terms of the innovations that are required in the sector decades hence.
As everybody's touched on, it's about optimization and efficiencies. And I think if we all focus on those, we'll have a much more efficient supply chain at the end of the day, which ultimately is going to be more sustainable and going to cost the end user, the customer, less.